In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. An old thinking is that unless and until somebody is very loyal to you, you don't need to get closer to them. You don't need to start any sort of joint venture with those people. This is an old thinking. Although, even in the contemporary world, big number of people are still following it. But these people actually are the people who don't know the dynamics of development and progress. Maybe these people are ego driven people. The decision, the attitude has more to do with the ego than the intellect. The intellect does not demand the allegiance or even a much fair play from the very beginning. Rather, these people of the intellect says that with the passage of time I shall be able to, inshallah, I shall be able to gather together the people who are somewhat honest, sincere, and fair instead of putting a very harsh condition, a very tough criteria upon which overwhelming number of the people will fail and will fail to move forward, will fail to succeed. So this person actually, the person of the somewhat developed intellect or a very good IQ, a good EQ, these people are of the view that have a somewhat easy criteria, relatively easy criteria for the cooperation, for the development, and not a very tough one. Because the tougher criteria from the very beginning will obviously will not allow you to move anywhere else at all, because the people available here in our society, they are the same sort of people. Rather rather if at all you are a person of very limited resources and very limited capabilities, it actually means that the people coming, the people available to you will not be of a high standard, will not be very elegant one. As for this allegiance is concerned, it is not available even to the people with the largest resources in the society. I'm talking about the politicians, I'm talking about the political leaders, the top few mainstream political parties. there in those parties too, people do keep coming and keep going. There are fewer people who are loyal, and these loyal people too demand a kind of fair play and loyalty from their top boss, from their political leader as well. Most of the people available to these mainstream political parties, most of these second and third category of political leaders keep changing their loyalties. These are called the fair weather birds. So, if at all who are so strong, even if at all they fail to find enough number of allegiant people, how come a person at the bottom of the society will be able to do that? I think it is the time, it is the right time, it is the high time to abandon this quest of loyalty and allegiance. It is far better to start looking for the short term cooperation. It is far better, far better, far better to start looking for a short term cooperation. Short term cooperation. Never demand the longer term cooperation, because this is a very tough criteria and the people will not be able to come up to these high standards. Bring your standards low and even more low. Just even a sort of agreement upon one thing of mutual interest, of mutual benefit, is enough to kickstart a kind of collaboration which become the very foundation of our success, and a kind of agreement with other people, with the maximum number of people, with the more and more people, a kind of cooperation, a short term cooperation will become a kind of milestone. Each short term cooperation will become another milestone and will keep taking us forward and even more forward. We will inshallah keep developing, we will inshallah keep moving forward, and it will happen only and only if we switch over from a kind of allegiance or loyalty, from a long term relationship based on the faithfulness, to a short term cooperation. This short term cooperation is a great technique. Always look for the short term cooperation. Always look for the short term cooperation. I'm not suggesting that we need to end this cooperation and should not extend it. I'm not suggesting this thing. Rather, it is quite a wise. It would be quite a wise step. It would be quite an intelligent step that the people who dealt us properly, the people who were useful for us and we were useful for them, it is really good to keep to extend the mutual cooperation with these people, to keep moving forward for the sake of mutual development. It is the mutual development which should be the slogan on the one hand, the mutual development which should be the slogan on the one hand, and a kind of short term cooperation on the other hand. These short term cooperation, let me tell you, rather let me assure you, will bring us quite a number of medium term cooperation, and then those medium term cooperation will bring us the long term cooperation, and then finally the long term cooperation will inshallah bring us the lifelong cooperation as well. But it would be only possible if at all we people are found looking for the short term cooperation, short term companionship. This companionship inshallah and this mutual cooperation, I think if at all we are sincere enough and we are wise enough, we need to become fair and honest on the one hand, and we need to handle and manage the things somewhat intelligently on the other hand. I think keeping in view the two of these things, inshallah we will be able to keep developing, and we shall be able to inshallah keep developing at a better pace. And a time will arrive when the people around us will be somewhat astonished the kind of development we have made, the kind of prosperity we have achieved, and now we have become a sort of magnet for the rest of the people around us. Thank you.